So this is a question that lots of people tackled. So this is another one of the A/B questions. So firstly, this idea of price elasticity of demand and cross elasticity for business decision making. Most people did pretty well here. So this, you split this into two types. You talk about inelastic products, split into about elastic products. You have an example for each. So you talk about different types of products, and then most people tended to dive in and draw a graph. So for this one, the graph tended to look a bit like, it tended to look a bit like this, and then you were showing what happens when you change the price. And then importantly, you do link to this idea of what's called total revenue. So just as a kind of one student's example here, kind of a nice introduction to start, sort of defining the formulas for inelastic demand. This is really good. So this shows you that if the demand's inelastic, this much, quite a dramatic change in price will have a small change in the quantity that's changed. And then down here we're talking about a great increase in the price has little effect on the quantity demanded. However, the total revenue still increases. And you can show that like this as well. And I think this is probably an easy way to show it. That's the total revenue that is lost. Because remember, total revenue equals P times Q equals that big rectangle. But this is the total revenue that's gained, that top part at the top. And you do the opposite if it's elastic. You would talk about this kind of scenario down the bottom, which is quite good as well. If the price is going up and it's elastic, there's a dramatic change in the loss of total revenue that happens there. So a good point. So most people did quite well in that first part. The second part was a lot harder. The second part, you need to talk about what happens to companies when they're selling goods. And so some companies will intentionally sell a range of goods that they know are close substitutes. So examples of that are, airlines tend to also kind of sell and market together hotel deals and car deals. Because especially they know that when the price changes here, there will be a flow-on effect to total revenue for other things they could potentially be selling. Or substitutes, same kind of way. As firms need to know, if it's a strong substitute, the impact of a price change here and how much that will change the quantity demanded of their product. So understanding the relationship to these two things can do a couple of things. It can help them understand perhaps which kind of goods they should stock, or how they should react to other companies changing their prices. This is probably the hardest part that most people struggle with, especially how this links to business decision making. People were pretty cool with the first part. This was harder. And so definitely to get sort of 8 up towards 10, this needed to be pretty good. And you really did need to have examples. And your diagrams like this needed to have a really good explanation of what's called total revenue to kind of get to the top part.